In the year 1630, the bustling village of Eldergrove in England was a place where traditions held strong, and the world outside its boundaries was considered mystical and mysterious. Among its residents was a man named Jonathan Rainsford, a humble blacksmith known for his skill and wisdom. Jonathan was a man of simple pleasures, content with his life but curious about the unknown. His greatest delight was crafting intricate ironworks and telling tales of distant lands. One crisp autumn evening, as Jonathan was finishing his work, he stumbled upon an ancient, rusted chest buried beneath the floorboards of his forge. Intrigued, he pried it open and found an ornate, dusty device that resembled a compass but was adorned with strange symbols. Unable to decipher its purpose, he set it aside and continued with his evening chores. As the sun dipped below the horizon and the village lights flickered on, Jonathan's curiosity got the better of him. He took the device back to his home, where he examined it closely. The symbol seemed to shift and glow faintly. He fidgeted with it, accidentally pressing a hidden button on its side. Suddenly, a brilliant light enveloped him, and he felt a powerful force pulling him away from his world. When the light subsided, Jonathan found himself in a place unlike anything he had ever seen. He was standing on a bustling street filled with towering structures made of glass and steel. The air was filled with strange, whirring noises, and people in peculiar clothing hurried by, engrossed in their own activities. Jonathan took a deep breath, trying to make sense of his surroundings. The signs on the buildings had unfamiliar writing, and the streets were filled with large, horseless carriages that moved at incredible speeds. He was in a city far removed from anything he had ever known. A sense of wonder and trepidation filled him as he realized he had been transported to the year 2024. The people around him seemed to take no notice of the stranger in their midst, preoccupied with their own devices and conversations. Desperate for answers, Jonathan approached a young woman sitting on a bench. "Pardon me, good lady," he said, his voice tinged with the formalities of his time. "Can you tell me where I am?" The woman looked up from her smartphone, surprised. You're in New York City. Are you okay? You look like you're from another time." Jonathan tried to explain his situation, but the woman, whose name was Emily, was skeptical. She offered to help him, and together they walked to a nearby cafe. Over cups of coffee and with Jonathan's astonished eyes fixed on the marvels of modern technology, Emily listened intently to his tale. Emily, an amateur historian with a fascination for the past, found Jonathan's story intriguing. She decided to assist him in navigating this new world. With Emily's help, Jonathan learned about the basics of modern life, how to use a smartphone, understand the concept of electricity, and navigate public transportation. Jonathan marveled at the technological advances. He was particularly fascinated by the internet, a vast network of information that connected people across the globe. He learned about the developments in science, medicine, and society. His knowledge of metallurgy and blacksmithing was suddenly relevant in discussions about modern engineering and craftsmanship. One day, while exploring a local museum, Jonathan stumbled upon an exhibit about the history of blacksmithing and metalwork. To his astonishment, his own ancestral techniques and the artifacts from his time were on display. The museum curator, impressed by Jonathan's detailed knowledge and historical insights, invited him to give a talk. Jonathan's lecture was a sensation. His first-hand experience, combined with his authentic storytelling, captivated the audience. His accounts of the 17th century, combined with his explanations of ancient techniques, provided a unique perspective that modern scholars and enthusiasts found fascinating. As weeks turned into months, Jonathan's presence became a local phenomenon. He became an advocate for historical preservation and a bridge between past and present. He helped restore old blacksmithing techniques and collaborated with modern craftsmen, blending old world skills with new world technology. Despite his growing success, Jonathan struggled with homesickness. He missed the simplicity of his village and the comfort of his old life. Emily, who had become a close friend, noticed his melancholy and decided to help. She researched time travel theories and historical anomalies, hoping to find a way to return Jonathan to his own time. After months of research and experimentation, Emily discovered that the device Jonathan had found was an ancient artifact with extraordinary properties. It had the power to transport people across time, but only under specific conditions. With this knowledge, she and Jonathan set out to find the right moment and location for the device to work its magic. The day came when the two friends stood in a quiet park, the device in hand, as the sun began to set. Jonathan thanked Emily for everything she had done and for helping him find his place in this strange new world. He stepped into the light of the device, which began to glow and hum. As the light enveloped him once more, Jonathan felt a sense of peace and anticipation. The next moment, he was back in his forge in 1630, the device now silent and lifeless. The world had returned to its familiar rhythms, and the chest was now securely in place beneath the floorboards. Jonathan's return was met with a sense of wonder and disbelief by his villagers. He shared stories of his incredible journey and the marvels of the future, but the device remained a mystery, its secrets locked away. Jonathan continued his work as a blacksmith, but he carried with him a profound appreciation for the world he had seen. His experiences in 2024 had broadened his understanding and deepened his connection to the past and the future. He often looked up at the stars, knowing that beyond the known world lay infinite possibilities, and he cherished the lessons of his extraordinary journey through time. His legacy lived on through the artifacts and techniques he had shared, bridging the gap between the past and the future. And though Jonathan never ventured beyond his own time again, his heart remained forever touched by the world he had briefly known, a world where time itself was a canvas of endless possibilities.